obviously Ben and Granados was. I'm not sure. Would you say you're disappointed in this performance, either of you?
Mm-mm.
Just
You're talking about Ben, right?
Yeah, Conor Benn.
No, I think when you consider how dominant he's been as of late, I think I kind of expected more. But then don't forget that, like, I'm in there and I do it and I've done it. And so when I see the opposite side of it, proposing some things that would create difficulty for the guy you expect to win and do as much as he did. But for me, I can't help but kind of tip my hat to Granados and his preparation and his game plan through the course of the night. You know, I felt like he was prepared, and it made it tricky and not as eye-catching for Conor Benn as it has been as of late. But when I took a look at what Ben was doing, I thought that Conor Benn had a really exceptional performance.
Yeah,
What about you? Yeah, because I like what you said over the WhatsApp.
Well, I thought, part of what made it so tricky for Conor to look good was Granados, who usually is a warrior, but got KO'd by Danny a couple years ago, and it's been a little rough for him since that fight. That's where it looked like it could have took something out of him. But he came in good shape, like you said, and he came prepared. But what made it so tricky for Ben to look good was after the third round or so, Granados was just fighting to go the distance, in a way you don't usually see him fight.
Uh-huh.
And that made it hard for Conor Benn to look good. And I think I said this on the podcast a week or two ago, but, he's Britain's guy in this division, the glamour division, the welterweight division. He's following up Conor Brook. So they got pedigree in this division in the recent history. I think he's developing very well into a real player, a real contender at 147, which is always loaded. I think our guys here in the States, Virgil and Ennis, are a step above. But I think he's their guy coming from the UK, that boxing crazed country. I think part of why they were so crazy tonight is they haven't had a chance to go to a lot of big boxing since the pandemic. So that's why they were so crazy. But no, the thing with Conor Benn is, in a way though, and Chris Eubank Jr. is a good fighter. He's fought for titles, fought good fighters. But if he has to be wary not to go the way of Chris Eubank Jr., who, like him, son of a great UK fighter, has speed, has explosiveness and athleticism and gifts, but for whatever reason, Eubank can't hit the mark in these big fights, and he can't put it all together. And Ben, he'll just have to be wary of, if not be wary of that, but he'll have to make sure to just keep improving and improving and improving, and not just get by on his athleticism and some of his explosiveness going forward. But he's developing into a real contender.
Yeah. Yeah, my fault. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I'm a huge Conor Benn fan. Like I said, he just keeps, like, everything about him. I'm like, man, I really like that guy. But I think it was another step for him. I don't like the criticism that Granados was on his bike or was running. He was less aggressive than maybe we typically see from him. And Conor Benn and Eddie both kind of alluded to, oh yeah, he was supposed to stand there, and it's like, well, he didn't, so you have to adjust.
Yeah.
The big note I have with Ben is he has power, he has explosiveness, he's very fast, he's very quick, but he misses wide a lot, like really bad. Like he throws these huge power shots, which have gotten people out of there.
Comes in Carson.
Yeah, it's just like he throws these wide shots. I'm like, that's fine against somebody like Adrian Granados, where he's not going to be right there to counter that and do damage on you. But like any of the top guys, even any of the guys he's mentioned, even Adrian Broner, like he wants the Adrian Broner fight. Adrian Broner, if you miss wide like that, AB can counter that and do some serious damage, put Shawn down. But the
AB could counter that, and AB did put Shawn down, but AB that was a bad example. That was a bad example.
I would just like to throw a jab, but I feel like because he wants these guys, and I love that ambitiousness about him, that he wants Amir Khan, he wants Adrian Broner, he wants to fight you, he wants to fight all these guys, and any of them capitalize on those big miss punches. It was my main takeaway, but I thought he still won comfortably.
I thought I see athleticism from him. I see good boxing IQ from him. And the other thing that I really liked about him was when, even though you're saying that Granados used the ring and he moved a lot, yes, I mean, you're fighting. I'm fighting you. What would I do against you? You know what I mean? Go back again to Manny and Ugas. Manny, he needed his legs and he didn't have his legs that night. Using your legs against Ugas is what beats Ugas. It's not always about standing toe to toe. And sometimes when you make certain matchups, you're like, okay, I'm picking this guy because I know he's going to stand toe to toe, and I know he's going to give Conor Benn some opportunities to knock him out. But again, you got to go kudos to Granados and his team for knowing that, hey, we can't stand there and take the same amount of punishment that we've been taking over the course of your career. I don't know how many fights they think they got left, but with this fight specifically, they did the right thing by trying to use the ring and set up Conor Benn at certain moments. And that was, again, what I liked about Granados was it wasn't like he just ran, did the Rigondeaux run. He saw moments where he wanted to step forward and exchange, and then he got back to that space that he knew he could use and things like that. But on the other side of that, I liked how Conor Benn was moving with him. He was cutting off the ring. He was taking steps over to the right, steps over to the left. Too often we see guys just following the other guy around the ring, waiting on him to run, or waiting on him to fight. You know what I mean? So I thought that Conor boxed accordingly. The one thing that I did want to ask you about, Carson, you sent me a video. I didn't get all the way through the video, but it just seemed like he had a lot on his mind coming into the ring. And it seemed to me like it was stuff on his mind that shouldn't have been there at this point. It seemed like he was kind of hung up on having his fight postponed and wanting to get back in the ring. And it seemed to me like he felt like he missed his moment of shine. And to me, it was like, okay, your moment was there, but your moment's now. Like, let that go and have your moment now. And it seemed like it kind of got in the way.
For me, I think it was a combination of the postponement probably weighing on him, and also he has a young kid. And so I think he's still young and a young father. And so I think he's kind of figuring out, I mean, you've had to do it yourself, where you have to kind of figure out, okay, when am I present as a dad and when am I training? So I think a lot of his frustration came from that, and that he wants to balance that out and, be present for his kid and not, be away and just kind of balance that out. He definitely seemed, he was a little wound up about that, but and I think for Granados, I mean, he definitely landed some nice shots in those exchanges. He'd get kind of like a little sneaky little shot in there. And for him, it is something where it's like you mentioned using the ring. Good. Like, you don't have to, just because you have a reputation of, and that seemed like the annoyance from Conor and from Eddie was like, well, this guy, usually stands there. It's like, well, he didn't. So you have to, like, tough luck. You can't just be like, hey, you know what? You were kind of like you and Ugas. Hey, you're Shawn Porter. You're supposed to always come forward. Adrian Granados, you're supposed to stand here and exchange. Why? You're not allowed to run. Like, you're not allowed to use the ring. It's just kind of weird.
It seemed like that was kind of like the stint after the fight, like you said, was that, hey, man, we expected this dude to fight us. And then, like I said, the other take that I got from that was it seemed like something was in the way. But, I'll continue to mimic to him what I've said in some other interviews. But be patient and take your time. Now, guess what? I don't know how old his son is, or is he a boy?
I think it's a baby.
A boy? I don't know how old his baby is.
I think it's a baby boy.
You gotta be patient now. You gotta start to try to figure it out. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in one camp. It takes multiple camps for you and your family to learn the rituals and the routines. When you're gonna be gone, when you're gonna be home, how your mind is 5 weeks out of a fight, opposed to 5 months out of a fight, opposed to 5 days from a fight. You know what I mean? Our minds are really different. I'll be at home 5 months from a fight and I'm all the way there. 5 weeks before a fight, I'm in and I'm out. Like, I'm literally in your face. My wife's talking to me and I'm like seeing the fight. It kind of is what it is. You know what I mean? And then 5 days from a fight, don't talk. Don't talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he'll learn that as he goes. But, my advice, hopefully it gets to him, is just to be patient. Don't allow, the way that this camp went to affect the next camp, unless there's going to be positive effects. You know what I mean? Don't take anything negative from it and carry it into the next one. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, we can't do that. be calm, be patient, and learn from it, because what we know in the ring and in war is the guys who are calm are the ones who make it through. The guys who are patient and find those opportunities are the ones who make it through. So that's all I have for him, man. But I'm a fan of him. You know what I mean? I like his charisma. I like his boxing style. If we go back to that real quick. I liked his head movement.
He gets really low.
Yeah, I like this head movement. I like the fact that he's aware defensively. He's got the roll. There were moments where Granados tried to throw some shots and he was able to bring the hand up. I saw the awareness. I like him. It wasn't the big bang that we expected. Yeah. But to me, it was still a really good performance.
And it's not always going to be that big bang. It's something that at some point it's not going to happen. So
and you got to learn from that too. You know what I mean? What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.